Okay, shut up now.
Still your belt.
Well, welcome to another episode, special episode of Big and Stupid Game Reviews.
It's very special.
Yep.
Because in today's episode, we'll each be telling you our top 3 favorite games of 2011.
Yep. So, welcome. I'm Stupid J.
Big Mike,
What do you got, Mike?
I'm going to let you start off.
Very well. My first pick is Saints Row the Third for this year. Fun as hell. Great co-op experience if you want to play with a friend, or fun as hell by yourself. Most fun I've had all year is with this game alone. Highly recommend it. If you're watching this before Christmas, I don't care who games in your family. I don't care what system they own. You should be buying this for them. This game. Nothing else. You will automatically be loved. If you are not loved for buying this game, you should kill that person and keep the game and play it yourself. That's my first pick.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got that one out of the way first, because that is the only one of your top 3 games that are good.
What do you got?
My first game, I did mine in order. My number 3 game of the year was Catherine. It's different.
Sure is.
It's challenging.
Oh, it is.
It's different and challenging. It's one of those things. I couldn't stop playing it. I was playing it, and before I knew it, 4 hours had passed, and I was like, where did the time go? Because I don't do stuff like that because I have really bad ADD. So, if a game can hold my attention for 4 hours, it automatically gets a nod as one of the top 3 favorite games of the entire year, even though it came out several months ago, which I know that's unheard of, to say that a game was the best one of the year when it came out, not very recently.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. So there's.
But I do feel that you should point out that it is a puzzle game.
It is a puzzle game. A fantastic puzzle game.
Just in case people don't know.
If people don't know what Catherine is, then they should try it anyway. Just buy it.
My second pick, which I don't have it in order, because I don't need to be like that, like some princesses on this show who are not me. Gears of War 3. Sure, not perfect, but fun as hell with your friends. Especially if you have more than one friend, which if you're a gamer, you might not have more than one friend. But good multiplayer modes, lots of multiplayer modes, good co-op experience, had a lot of fun, still playing it to this day.
Okay, Gears of War is good if you're stupid. But if
You're alright, you need to look like you have to poop.
it was just Gears of War.
Okay.
It makes me make that face.
Makes you gassy.
But if you want an adventure game where you get to run around and kill people and actually have interesting characters in an interesting setting with an interesting story, I recommend. This actually pains me that this is my number 2 game of the year, because it's one of my favorite series. And this was, seriously, any other year would have been my top favorite game of the year. Assassin's Creed Revelations. There's not too many things more fun than jumping off a roof onto a dude and stabbing him in the face with your hidden blade, or just, if you're like me, you can spend a while just climbing up towers and jumping off of them with a parachute, or just zooming off of zip lines and assassinating people. It's just a whole lot of fun. Even the tower defense is good in it, and even the little thing where you send your little assassins out, for some reason, is fun.
Training.
Yeah, send them out on missions. It's just like a text thing. It's like an old school.
Yeah, well, it's a level of
where you don't actually do anything,
yeah.
But it's still, for some reason, fun.
Alright, and my last pick for Game of the Year, Crysis 2. Not a big fan of first-person shooters. Love this fucking game. I spent tons of time just looking at details. I personally feel this is the best looking game on Xbox. Period. Looks amazing, plays smooth, plays the way it should, and it's completely different from every other first-person shooter I played. If you play Call of Duty, if you play Halo, and you play this, you're going to be on a level playing field. First of all, if you play like Call of Duty, if you like to camp and snipe, guys are going to come after you, and you're going to end up fucking dead. If you play like Halo and you bunny hop everywhere, guys are going to come after you, and you're going to end up fucking dead. This is a great game for anyone that wants to get away from anything different when it comes to first-person shooters. Being able to use your suit in super strength mode for armor, using it in the stealth. You can play the game stealthy if you want. I actually beat the game on the hardest difficulty mode, just playing stealth, and I barely killed anyone. And it was fun as hell. It took a while, but it was fun as hell. The campaign is awesome. The story doesn't give you anything you haven't seen or heard or played before with the story of aliens and whatnot, but it looks great, it plays great, and that's what's important for games for me. Fun as hell. I can't recommend it enough.
I agree. Crysis is one of the best looking games. I'm also not a fan of first person shooters, but if you want something that's actually different from other first person shooters, my game of the year this year, Portal 2. Single player, fantastic. It's not like any other puzzle game you're ever going to play. If you haven't played the Portal games, you're really missing out on something. I mean, the Portal thing started in that Prey game, but it wasn't a big part of it. They took that one single part of one otherwise fairly generic first-person shooter, turned in, used that as a basis for an entire game. The writing is top-notch. In the first one, you just have Gladys. In the second one, you have Gladys. I can't remember his name now that I'm on the spot. Wesley, something like that. And then one of the greatest and funniest video game characters of all time, Cave Johnson. You don't know who that is, but he's in the basement. He's the guy who started Aperture Science. You basically just getting voices. But the writing is so good. I can't recommend Portal enough. You use your brain, use your reflexes. There's the single player, which is fantastic, and then the co-op is a completely different, but you're gonna want to play the co-op with somebody at least as smart as you. Or if you're like me, I had somebody smarter than me playing, so when you get stuck, because there's some tough puzzles. So those were our different individual games that we had for this year. Did we have anything else?
Basically, I want to say, I mean, if you've been watching the show, you know how we personally feel about individual games, and you could probably make your best judgment of saying, oh, I agree more with Big Mike, or I agree more with incredibly handsome Stupid Jay, and make your decisions based on these recommendations. We don't make these recommendations lightly. We have day jobs, we have families, we don't have the money to go out and spend big money on video games. And the reason why we suggest these games is because these are games we've spent $60 on a piece. These are games that we love, and we wouldn't recommend them lightly. We want you to go out and waste your money. That's the whole point of this show, is for you to save, so you don't feel like you wasted your money. Did you want to?
I agree with that. I was looking for it, but I think if there was one game that we both sort of agreed on is a very great game that came out this year, would be Batman Arkham City.
Yeah.
We did. Oh. We already did the review of this, but as far as it goes, I think if there was going to be one that we both agreed was sort of game of the year, it would be Batman.
It's a good game, and it's real fun. We try to keep this, like all reviews, short, simple, to the point if we can. So we had to pick three personal basics. But I would never not recommend Batman.
No.
Although I would recommend, if you're gonna play, don't start with Arkham City. start with Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
City is a direct sequel, continues the story. Start there. It's your best bet, and you're probably not going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Unless you're a douchebag.
Besides Gears of War, I don't see how you can go wrong with any of the games that we picked.
Other than Catherine, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then spend your money how you would, but definitely on Portal 2 and Saints Row.
Yes. Crysis 2.